Hello, my name is Fiona Honson, near Glen, and I was the first female president of the Newcastle Business Club in the year 2000. I first heard about the Newcastle Business Club just through being involved with business people with our business. And I thought networking is the most important thing because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And so I decided to take myself along to a meeting and just see what it was all about. I found it was really exciting and motivating to be in amongst the business people because it was just interesting to see how people, what motivated them to be in business and what sort of business they were doing, and that, you know, we could help them with our business. And I decided that I wanted to become, have a more active part in the actual club. And so I just volunteered to go on the committee, and that would have been in 96, I think, or 97 that I first went on the committee. So, and then I went from there to junior vice president and then vice president. And the idea was that to encourage more women to be members of the club, that the new millennium would be an amazing way of introducing a new female president or the first female president to the club, and encourage women to join, and the new millennium would be like the wow factor of doing it at that time. So, but for me, because there was a little bit of resistance with women wanting to be in the club, instead of me going from junior vice and then into vice and then become president without anything, I had to have an election. So I had to rally votes, get proxy votes, campaign, and then go into the election not knowing whether I was going to be president or not, even though I'd been junior vice and vice. So it was an interesting time. And yes, I became president, the first female, so fantastic. Once I became president, it was just amazing the amount of support that I had, but there was also a lot of pressure to perform because there was so much media attention. There was also attention from the members because they were thinking, how is this girl going to go? And so I applied pressure to myself as well because I wanted to get fantastic speakers to attract people to come to the meetings, and as well more women. You know, the push was for women. So I had some amazing people. Paul Harrigan was probably one of my favourites. He gives great bear hugs, and he was a sellout and just fantastic, speaking about their premiership and playing for the Knights and what it means in the town and so on. I had John English was amazing. We did a special day for John English. He was asked, why does he wear jeans? And he said, because I can. And so we had a Jeans for John Day so that all the business people could relax on the day and wear jeans if they wanted to and not have to wear their suits. And he was a funny man. We had John Simons from Aussie Home Loans. He was just a brilliant speaker, telling us, it was such a motivational time because he had lost everything nearly, and then he turned everything around to do the Aussie Home Loans. But the funny thing was, when he stood up to speak, he said, Fiona, I'm just wanting to tell you now, I hate flying in little planes, but I've flown from Sydney to Pelican just to be here for you today. And you know what the worst thing is? I have to get in that little plane and go back home. So, but he was absolutely brilliant. David Koshy, he's come up as well, and he talked about economics and what's going on in the world and finance and so on, and funny man as well. Imelda Roche, has that empire in the Hunter Valley Gardens. She's came down to talk about from being a part of Nutrimedics to then taking over the whole business, buying it from America, I think it was, and then setting up the Hunter Valley Gardens, and now they're doing the same thing at Harrington with a pub and retirement village, and just such a motivational. I was wanting women to be a lot of my speakers, but because we don't pay speakers, and a lot of the women, the high profile women that I wanted money, then it was difficult to get the women there. But I thought if I can get men that are entertaining and will attract a crowd, then, you know, the thing was about getting numbers and so on. we had a brigadier that was in the Gulf War, and he was now CEO of Adecco. He was amazing with just how he applied his army knowledge to working and finding jobs and helping with employment and so on. Heaps, but every week we had to organise a speaker. So it was just amazing, and a lot of pressure, I thought, for me as well, because we had a lot of media attention at the time with the local radio stations and also the newspapers, and the Hunter business section of the Herald would come in, and so you had to have something that was entertaining, that would pull a crowd and entertain the members, and that they were happy to attend, because it was week after week after week. So, but it was joyous as well, because when you got people of high calibre that were prepared to speak for you for nothing and want to come to Newcastle and just have lunch, which is what we gave them, and it was up to them to get up there on their own steam. It was just really stimulating and motivating to, try and do better and get more. So yes, I'll have to read my list of people to see. Hopefully I haven't missed any popular ones or good ones. We held our meetings once a month in...
Hang on, sorry, committee meetings.
Oh, committee, what did I say?
Just meetings,
oh.
Which sounds like the lunch.
Okay. All right, cool. Third time proves it. We held our committee meetings once a month in the night time down in Newcastle West. So all the committee would attend, obviously, if they could. They helped me with trying to get speakers. They supported me in my role, just absolutely brilliant. Joe Key, Carl Ross, Gordon Blair, Ron Scaines, James Bennett, Jeff, Meg, Jane Gray, everybody was, Jeff Williams, amazing treasurer, everyone was just really, once I got in the role, they were right behind me because they wanted me to be successful, and again, they also wanted women to join the club. So it was again, it was a commitment, because not only were you doing the weekly meetings, but you were also doing the monthly meetings, as in the committee meetings, and having to organise to accept new members, talk about what was going on with the membership, organising the speakers, as I said earlier, locking the speakers in. Everybody had their different roles, secretary, treasurer, and just the committee members having their say. But again, it was interesting to run the meeting and take minutes and be a part of that, and again, just be the boss, because from attending the meetings to now running the whole show was quite a culture shock, but really something that it was a challenge, but it was wonderful. It's interesting with the meetings. There was always notable occurrences, because we didn't really book. We didn't take bookings for our members to attend meetings, because we just thought they could turn up of their own free will, be at work in the morning and then, doing whatever in the morning, and then coming and having a bit of lunch and then go back to work, sort of thing. But some of the speakers we had to take bookings, like obviously Paul Harrigan, Ernie Dingo, a few others very notable, and so there was people that we had to turn away because there was just no space, and the catering hadn't been done for them. But luckily no injuries that I'm aware of. Lots of laughing, I think, and lots of camaraderie and exchanging business cards, which was, that was our objective. But yeah, just mainly it was depending on the quality of the speaker, who would be turning up, how many people, and whether you could cater for them or not. The end of my year was just exhilarating for me, because I could look back and think, I've done it. Yay, I've done it. And I was successful, and we had increased numbers for meetings, we had increased attention from the media, so was broadcasting the business club out into the business community a lot more. The quality of the speakers I was really stoked with. I would have preferred to have had perhaps more women, but the high profile women I was wanting to attract to the club required payment. And as you're aware, we didn't pay for our speakers at that time. But it was a roller coaster ride, because it's just every week something was happening. And then the behind the scenes of organising the committee meetings to keep those month after month rolling, and booking in speakers, attending. We did a presentation for the Olympics, where we brought a torch and presented to Janet Dorr, from the General Manager from the council. We had Catherine Greiner come up, who was part of the Salvation Army Red Shield appeal. She was our guest speaker. There was all interjections of other things happening as well as just what was going on with the business club. So busy, and yes, just you needed to be really focused, but also adrenaline as well, because I was just really proud of what I'd done and that I had succeeded, where perhaps some people wanted me to maybe fail, and that just made me more determined to get out there and be even better than what I thought I could be. So brilliant. So in conclusion, I just had an amazing time. I was just so proud that I was the first female president, and the recognition, I was exalted with the support that I had, the ongoing support, my wonderful committee, everybody, all the speakers, the members who attended would give me positive feedback and encourage me. The love from my family, it was just an amazing year. It was a busy year, and got to the end of the year skidding because it was just full on, but it was just a brilliant time for me, and I'm just absolutely proud. One of the best things, other than being a mum, one of the best things that I've done. So it was just brilliant. Thank you.
Visit www.newcastlebusinessclub.com.au to learn more.